Hi, my name is Adam and I work for HP. Today we're going to show you the unboxing and setup of the HP Officejet 6700 Premium. Okay, so here's your Officejet 6700 Premium. First thing we're going to need to do is to open up the box. Just pry it open. Alright, the first thing you'll notice is you're going to have a collection of manuals and cartridges and power modules. We're going to take things one at a time. The first thing here is the start guide, which walks you through the setup of your printer. The next piece of paper is the print terms and conditions, which is basically your legal documentation. The next thing you'll see is the getting started guide and manual. Basically, it has the how-to of all the functions of your printer in all different languages. The next thing you'll find is your power cord, which will later get attached to the power module. Right here is the power module. Kind of difficult to get out a little bit. This will later, like I said, plug in with the power cord and then plug into the wall and your printer. All right, the next thing in here is the phone cord, and this will be used when hooking up your printer for faxing purposes. It's your basic 2-wire phone cord. All right, so next on my right is the cartridges. Sometimes these are a little difficult to get out, so you may have to pry a little bit or work your way in between the styrofoam and the cardboard to remove them. And these are actually setup cartridges. These are designed to help initialize your printer. You cannot use cartridges bought from the store to set up your printer. You must use those cartridges. And the next here is the input tray. Go ahead, we'll attach this later, but go ahead and remove it out of the box and out of the plastic. And next in the box we have the CD. This is the installation CD for both Mac and for Windows. We suggest that if you lose a CD, go ahead and go online and search for the most updated drivers, just to make sure that you're using the latest drivers provided by HP. I'll go ahead and move this cardboard. Okay, so HP provides on the plastic these two handles that you can use to help pull your printer out of the cardboard box. We know it can be difficult to get out the printer. So go ahead and just lean it over or lay it down, and using the handles, go ahead and slide it. Might take a little bit of force, but you should be able to gently get it out of the printer box. I remove the box down. Okay, so go ahead and just remove the styrofoam off the sides, and we're going to remove the printer out of the rest of the packaging here. Just take the styrofoam blocks off. And we can go ahead and pull the printer out of this plastic. A little bit difficult. If it's heavy, you might need maybe help from a friend or another person just to help you get everything out so you don't break anything. All right, at this point we're going to remove all the plastic and tape from the top and the front of the printer. So there's tape that's going to be throughout, and we'll start up here. And this tape is also holding down the input or the output tray of your printer. Excuse me. And go ahead and just take this tape off, and that'll free the output tray. Which you can then pick up and remove out of the plastic. So we'll go ahead and attach this to the printer later. Continue removing any of the styrofoam or plastic or tape. Sometimes the plastic will be a little bit stubborn and difficult to get off. You just got to work it out. and make sure that you're removing it from all the little cracks and crevices to make sure everything moves freely later. All right, this piece right in the front, we're going to go ahead and remove. Make sure that you get all small scraps that might be left behind. Okay, so this piece we're going to have to remove and then lift up to get the rest of the piece off. And go ahead and remove the little inserts for protecting the scanner bed right now. And this last little piece right here that's holding the cartridge access door down. At this point, we're going to go ahead and open up the cartridge access door and look for any packaging tape or any kind of cardboard packaging materials that might be inside the cartridge area. So if anything is left behind, it could cause jams later. I'll go ahead and close the scanner lid. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and rotate to the back of the printer and remove any plastic and cardboard and tape from the back. So to get this piece off, we're actually going to have to remove the duplexer. And using these two buttons on each side, just go ahead and squeeze in and pull it straight out. And that'll release the piece of cardboard and tape that we can now remove. So just go ahead and grab it and pull up. Alright, so we can go ahead and actually, at this point, reinsert that duplexer since all the packaging material has been removed from the back of the printer. Just holding it, just slide it back in to where it was until it snaps into place. Make sure it's firmly attached. Alright, go ahead and rotate back to the front. There's just the one remaining label that's covering the display. Pull the tab and slide it right off, exposing our nice new display. Alright, now that everything is removed from the printer, it's ready to be set up and initialized. We're going to start by putting in the trays that are over here. First thing is going to be the bottom part, which is going to be this tray extension for the input tray. Just go ahead and remove any plastic that's on it. Just go to the front. We're just going to pop it into place. There's going to be two tabs on it. They're just going to lock into place. So here is your width guide. You can adjust that. We'll talk more about that later. But if you have any problems inserting this, there's going to be a tab over here. You'll see that you can actually release, that's going to pop off that tray. Say you misaligned it, you can pop it out and reattach it so it's perfectly lined up and reattach it like so. Alright, now we can insert the output tray. Make sure you remove any plastic that might be left on this. Sometimes the plastic can be a little bit stubborn. If you can actually get in there and extend that output tray, it would come out a little bit easier. Just remove what you can. A little bit extra here. Slide it out and just get anything that's left underneath or behind it. Go ahead and close it back up and put it into the printer. So on this output tray, there's going to be two tabs on each side. These two tabs are going to slide into the printer. There's going to be actually a reciprocating slot on the printer, and you're just going to go ahead and slide that straight in until it pops into place. If for some reason only one side pops in, or it misaligns, or doesn't stay up like this, you just make sure it's flat and then pull one side, pop it back out, and then you can reinsert it, making sure it's aligned properly. All right, now that everything is attached to the printer, we're going to go ahead and set up the power for the printer. And then we're going to untwist the ties on the power module and the power cord. Go ahead and remove these. And at this point, we're going to connect the power cord to the power module. Just insert it straight in. And go ahead and untwist the cables. And go to the back of the printer to plug in the power cord. Here's a little slot that the power cord goes into. Just push it straight in to connect it. Turn back to the front. Now we're going to plug the power cord itself into a power source. And we always recommend actually plugging it directly into a wall outlet. In this situation, I don't have one, so I'm just going to show you plugging into a power strip. All right, now that everything's plugged in, we can go back to the front of the printer. So I'm going to come around to the front, to the display. And here's the new display. And you can adjust the tilt on the display just by sliding it up. And then there's going to be a tab on the bottom right here that to lower it back down, just go ahead and squeeze on that tab, and that's going to lower it back down, so you can adjust it to the angle at which best suits you. Easiest to see that way. We're going to go ahead and press the power button and turn this printer on. Alright, so the display will turn on. And you can start setting up your printer. So at this point, your printer is running through its cycles, its first run cycles. It's going to begin to initialize. And then it's going to ask you a series of questions so you can set up your printer for your area and your language. So here's your language screen, selection screen. Since we're here speaking English, we're going to go ahead and choose the English option. It's going to ask you to confirm that that's the selection you wanted, so click yes. And here you're going to select your region. We're in the United States, so we're going to choose USA. And click yes to confirm again. At this point, it's going to ask you to continue to the setup, and it's going to start initializing the setup here. So at this point, the installation or the initialization is going to ask you to install the cartridges. Now, the display itself will actually show you a little video, a little animation on how to install the cartridges if you would like. We also have videos online that will help for your model to show you how to install cartridges. Right now, we'll just go ahead and open the cartridge access panel until the carriage comes to the access area so that we can insert these new cartridges. As I said before, you want to use those setup cartridges that HP provided. These are designed to help initialize your printer. If you use ones bought from the store, they won't initialize correctly. So wait for the carriage to move into the access area before we can put these new cartridges in. Alright, so at this point we're going to grab those new setup cartridges and go ahead and just remove the plastic that's around them. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get this off too. Just go ahead and break them free. Remove the little booklet that comes with it. So with the cartridges free, if you look at them, we actually have the number. So when you run out later, you can actually go to HP's webpage and order new cartridges using that number. So we're going to go ahead and just slide these directly into each slot. Make sure that each cartridge matches the color and the letter that is on the print head itself. So go ahead and slide it into place until you feel a little bit of resistance and you'll feel it firmly in position. And then we're going to repeat for all the other cartridges. Again, making sure that they match up the right color and letter for all four that are provided. Go ahead and slide them all in. And once they're all in, we can go ahead and close the cartridge access door. So we're going to go back to the front of the panel to follow its instructions. At this point, it's asking you to load paper. It's going to show you a little animation of showing you how to insert the input and output trays, which we've already done and I've already shown you in this video. So you can go ahead and watch the video if you'd like, or go ahead and disregard it. So making sure that you have plain white paper, 8.5 by 11 works. Go ahead and lift up the output tray. We're going to go load this into the printer. Open up the width guides as far as they'll go so that we can load the paper in properly. Then go ahead and tapping the paper to line it up. Just go ahead and load it into the printer. We're going to adjust the width guide so that at the edge of the paper. This will help prevent any of the paper getting distorted or misaligned as you put it in. If you later on decide to load paper that's larger than 8.5 by 11, this part of the tray right here does come out. Basically, just slide it up and lower it, and it will allow for legal or larger size paper. And it's really simple, just lift up and lower. At this point, you can go ahead and lower the output tray, making sure that it's securely all the way down. And then go back to the panel and hit next. At this point, the printer will align and calibrate. When it aligns, basically it sets up the printer to drop ink exactly where it's supposed to be on the paper as it prints out. So we've sped up this section. Depending on your model, it might take quite a bit of time, as I said before. So your experience might be a little bit different. Okay, now that your alignment page has printed out successfully, we can go ahead and remove it from the printer. And actually, if you look at the front panel, it'll tell you that the alignment was successful, so we can go ahead and hit OK. It's going to ask you your printer connection, but since we're not showing that in this video, we can hit Connect Later. This screen here is telling you that the setup was successful and telling you to install the software on your computer using the CD. We do have other videos available if you would like to see how that's done. Just hit OK. Another message will pop up confirming that the cartridges that were provided by HP were installed. Okay, so at this point, we want to make sure that the printer is working and set up correctly. So we're going to go ahead and print a test page from your printer. Go ahead and use these arrows until you see the setup button. And then scroll down using these arrows and hit Reports. Then we're going to go ahead and just hit the Printer Status Report button. All right, and now your printer will print out a printer status report. So with the printer status report printing out correctly, you know that you have set up and initialized your printer and that it's printing and functioning properly. So if we go ahead and look at this printer status report, it has some information that might be helpful for you, ink levels, serial number, etc. But if for some reason the test page did not print out or the alignment page did not print, you can actually look inside the printer and it will have some information for you. When you look, you can either go online or call HP and they will ask you for your model number. And this model number right here is the one that you will want to use. Also, you can use these ink cartridge numbers when you go to replace your cartridges for your printer. If you want to go online, here's a web page that we recommend you use at hp.com/support. And you can find further information about your printer, troubleshooting support, or just any kind of help that you may need. So after you go ahead and close the cartridge access door, and once you set it up and install the drivers on your computer, your printer will then be ready for regular use. And that is the HP Officejet 6700 Premium.